Apple Intelligence makes its debut in iOS 18.1 with 10 new features. Some of them are genuinely impressive, some of them are smaller features that'll still have a big impact on your daily life, while others are kind of pointless. Let's take a look. Let's start with the writing tools. This is a set of features that can proofread, change the tone of, or reformat text. These features are available in any app that uses a standard text field. All of Apple's apps like Notes, Mail, and Safari, and most third-party apps. Tap the cursor to bring up the pop-up menu and select Writing Tools. You may have to swipe over to find it. There also might be an Apple Intelligence button in the toolbar that brings it up as well. Tap to highlight a specific portion of text to apply it to, or don't select anything, and it'll apply to the entire document. Proofread looks for mistakes, poor punctuation, and clumsily phrased sentences. It's a good tool to use as a final check before you send something important. Rewrite takes the same information and slightly rephrases it. If you don't like the way a sentence sounds, but can't get your head out of a rut to rewrite it yourself, this is a good tool to use. Friendly and professional, rewrite the tone of a sentence to be either more casual or more diplomatic. Concise removes all of the extraneous, unnecessary, superfluous words in a sentence to make it shorter, less long, and have fewer words in it as well. Summary and key points reduce the information down to just a single sentence or a few bullet points. These don't automatically replace the original text, so you can use it to generate a thesis statement out of a paper, for example. You can copy the results to paste it somewhere else, or replace the original selection. List and table transform the formatting of the selection into a list of bullet points, or reorganize the information into a multi-column table. The proofreading, rewriting, and summary tools do a pretty decent job, but I've been most impressed by its ability to convert ordinary writing into a small multi-column table. No matter your writing skills, changing the structure and formatting of a document is a universal pain in the ass. The summary feature is available in other parts of the system as well. If you get a whole rush of notifications in a row, instead of seeing a big long list of messages, you'll see a single sentence summary describing the whole lot of notifications. And you can still tap to expand the list to see the original messages if you want as well. These have about a 90% hit rate. Usually it can accurately summarize a conversation, but sometimes it's missing that one key piece of information and comes up with total nonsense. Where it really shines is in Mail, where emails with a one-time 6-digit code always put the number inside the notification banner. Promotional emails no longer read, "Hello Griffin, did you know that today we have a special offer for ... and instead just say, "Buy one pizza, get one free on BOGO Tuesday." Image cleanup. This is a tool that will let you intelligently erase objects from a picture. Open a picture, tap Edit, and tap the new cleanup tool on the bottom. Just drag your finger to select or circle an object, it'll work for a moment, and then it'll intelligently fill it in. This works best if the thing you're erasing doesn't overlap anything else in the image and is surrounded by a pattern it can easily replicate, like dust on a black shirt, an object sitting on a table, a calendar hanging on a wall, stuff like that. But it'll try to fill in whatever you ask it to. It just might not do a very good job. A car on a busy, crowded city street, or the main central subject of a photo, it'll do it. It'll just look kind of weird. The one thing it won't do is replace someone's face. If you circle a face, it'll instantly pixelate the results. But honestly, this could be considered a feature if you want to post a picture on social media, but one person in the picture wants to remain anonymous. Well, you can use Cleanup to disguise their identity. Also in the Photos app, you can use Apple Intelligence to be more descriptive when you're searching for photos. Griffin wearing a hat, videos of Lewis playing the accordion wearing a green shirt. No more madly swiping through your entire photo library just to find that one image. This is one of those smaller features that you'll appreciate a little more every time it works. You can automatically generate a memory movie from your photos using a natural language text prompt. Scroll down to the Memories section and tap Describe a Memory and type in what you want, or tap the Create button to the right. You can tie together names of people in your pictures, locations, events, periods of time, and more. You can even specify a genre of music to go along with it. I tested the limits. First, I typed in beautiful plants, flowers, and trees with death metal music, and it gave me the best video I've ever seen. Moving right along, when you get a text in Messages, you'll see Apple Intelligence suggest a reply in the QuickType bar above the keyboard. And you can tell they're AI generated because they flash purple, orange, yellow, and blue. Just tap one of these suggestions to fill it in the text field. It doesn't automatically send the text. I don't find these suggestions particularly useful. I think they sound kind of soulless and robotic, in my opinion. Phone calls and notes now have built-in recording and transcriptions. From a phone call or FaceTime audio call, tap the record button in the upper left. Both people on the call will hear,
"This call will be recorded,"
with a brief countdown. A new note is created for every recorded phone call, and you can find them in the Notes app in the Call Recordings folder. From a pop-up menu, you can tap Take Notes on this call to switch to the Notes app. You can also add a voice recording to a note directly. From the Attachments button, tap Record Audio. You'll see a pop-up interface that looks very familiar if you've ever used the Voice Memos app. Tap the Show Transcript and Summary button in the bottom left, and you'll see a live transcription as soon as you start recording. The transcriptions are pretty fast, though not terribly accurate. Even smaller whisper models work just as fast and have much better results, especially around punctuation and capitalizing proper nouns. Next up is the Reduce Interruptions focus mode. Setting up a focus mode by hand is kind of a pain. You need to know exactly which contacts and apps you want to allow or let through, and you constantly need to maintain it as you add new contacts and download new apps. Reduce Interruptions adds Apple Intelligence to make it easier. Reduce Interruptions judges on the fly which notifications are important enough to bother you. So I turned it on, and sure enough, I immediately stopped getting notifications from a particularly active Snapchat group, and a few text messages I agree aren't very important. I tried testing it with Slack, so I had my colleague Ed ping me without writing a message. That was silenced, but it did notify me when I asked him to write something that sounded urgent. Although an email from Meyer notifying me that my grocery order was ready for pickup was also silenced, and I would have liked to know about that. Now you can still apply a fixed set of rules to override the AI if you want, in Settings, Focus, Reduce Interruptions. Just like any other focus, you can have a specific set of contacts and apps that are whitelisted, you can choose to hide badges, you can set a schedule, and you can tie it to a home screen, lock screen, and watch face. You can also turn on Intelligent Breakthrough and Silencing on any of your existing focus modes too. It'll apply the AI-powered model on top of your existing rules. Siri now has extensive knowledge about Apple products. It's been trained on Apple support documentation, so you can ask it a question about your phone, and it'll answer it for you. So I asked it, how do I share a Wi-Fi password? And it instantly gave me very clear step-by-step directions. But then I asked it, how do I customize Control Center? And it gave me instructions for iOS 17 rather than iOS 18. And then I asked it, how do I customize the camera control? And it gave me Google search results. It seems like this feature hasn't been updated yet with the iOS 18 edition of the iPhone User Guide. And it does make sense when you think about it. Although Apple can publish this stuff to the web the same day that software updates are out and new iPhones are released, it takes time to train and test a new AI model from scratch, which they will have to do to update Siri's product knowledge every time a new feature is out. So for the time being at least, the best how-tos and guides are still on cultofmac.com. You can now double tap the bottom of the screen to Type-to-Siri. This has been available as an accessibility setting before, but it was an all-or-nothing change. Now it's simple. You can double tap to type, or you can hold the side button, or say, to talk. Now you may be wondering, if you don't want to talk out loud, but you can use the keyboard, why wouldn't you just use Google or Spotlight? Well, Siri actually does have a few specific domains of knowledge that it's very good at. Sports trivia, movie and TV show trivia, Apple product knowledge, as I just showed you, rolling dice and flipping coins, searching through your passwords in the Passwords app. If you don't want to announce your Siri queries to the whole world, or at least the room you're in, this is a more discreet way to use your phone's assistant. Although double tapping the home bar for Type-to-Siri isn't really an Apple Intelligence feature and could easily be enabled on all other devices, Apple is tying this new gesture to the new Siri design and the new Siri itself. Although these new Siri features are pretty neat, this is only an appetizer. The total Siri overhaul is coming next spring, likely with iOS 18.4. That version of Siri will be able to take complicated instructions, questions, see your screen, and do things for you inside apps. I think it's misleading that Apple rolled out the new visual look for Siri before the real new Siri actually ships, because ordinary people will try it out, see the new design, realize it isn't actually that much better, and write it off before they actually try the impressive new features. So that is the first batch of Apple Intelligence features coming in iOS 18.1 in October. There is much more exciting stuff coming down the pipeline, so remember to like and subscribe. I'm D. Griffin Jones with Cult of Mac.